Norfolk County Council have deemed a proposed 50-acre quarry in the heart of the countryside and on the doorstep of Marlingford and Easton College as appropriate. To impose a large industrial complex in the heart of the countryside goes against the spirit of every planning policy, and to try and place it just yards from the Riviera Valley, ancient woodland, listed buildings and a college for young people is both irresponsible and dangerous. This sloping site will be visible from Marlingford, Easton and Colton. The noise pollution will echo around this valley. There will be light pollution, dust that is dangerous to health, and the area will be blighted for many years. National and local planning policies recognise the value of the countryside, not just to those who live there, but to the many millions who visit regularly to walk and cycle through the villages of Great Britain. The sort of urban sprawl that will be the inevitable consequence of the industrialisation of the countryside will see villages like Easton and Marlingford gobbled up to become part of Greater Norwich. Many will be surprised to know that the decision by Norfolk County Council planning officers to recommend this site has not been taken following a long and exhaustive investigation. In fact, so far they've carried out no environmental impact report, no flood risk assessment, no traffic surveys, no landscape design and access statement, no biodiversity reports, and no hydrological survey. What's truly shocking is that until we pointed it out, the planners were not aware that there is a borehole on the site, which means it should be given the highest level of protection under Anglian Water's policy. The workings of a quarry could contaminate the water supply. Anglian Water's map clearly shows the position of the borehole that Norfolk County Council's planning officers were not aware of. Local residents believe that digging out 735,000 tonnes of sand and gravel will deliver rainwater much more quickly to the Riviera, which will cause flooding both locally and further along the river and into Norwich. No flood risk assessment has been carried out by Norfolk County Council. What happens next? The next round of consultations was due to start on the 8th of May and run for 8 weeks, but it's been delayed, but is now underway and due to complete in August. And after that, it needs planning approval by Cabinet before submission to the planning inspector, who will decide if the document is sound. And after that, the landowners can apply for planning. Surely it will never be passed by the county planners. Unfortunately, that is not what Nick Johnson, Senior Planning Officer for Norfolk County Council, said at a public meeting in the Village Hall in November 2009. This planning officer in charge of minerals and waste, when asked if it was likely that planning would be rejected, stated that it was very rare for an application to be refused once it was in the development framework. The aforementioned surveys will only be carried out at the planning application stage, and they're provided by the landowner. So what do we think they will say? Let's remind ourselves what a quarry looks like. Out of nearly 100 sites submitted, planning officers who've carried out no reports and no analysis have decided that this location is one of just 25 that they consider to be suitable. Planning officers and the agent acting for the landowners have said that they will position the workings on the site away from the residents on the south side of the site and screen any machinery. This at least recognises that the site will have a massive negative impact, but a screen on top of a hill, hardly practical. The site will include a concrete batching plant. This proposal includes a ready-mix concrete batching plant. This will mean that the sand and gravel extracted will require processing to make it suitable for concrete. This entails sand and gravel screening separation and washing and cement silo storing. Let's have a look at what that looks like. It's about 30 foot high. Put this machinery on the north side of the site and the hundreds of students at Easton College will be looking at it, listening to it from their classrooms and getting used to the taste of cement dust. A screen to hide a plant that can be 30 foot high will not be practical. Put it on the south side on top of the hill and it will be a landmark for miles around and testament to the wisdom of planners. Many people are concerned about the access to and from the site. Though the highways officer met with the landowner's agent, he refused several requests to meet with us to hear our concerns. The proposal suggested to the landowner's agent by the highways officer shows a haul route crossing the Marlingford to Easton Road. The County Council have carried out no traffic surveys nor been interested in many of those that we carried out. You might think that this very narrow, unclassified road would only have the odd vehicle along it now and again. One morning between 8:15 and 9:15 a.m. we recorded 198 traffic movements turning into the college, many with young riders on scooters and motorcycles. Lorries between 20 and 42 tonnes will be sharing this highway to bring a level of danger that the Highways Agency admit will lead to additional accidents. The route is dangerous, passes a conservation area by the side of Broom Farm, passes St Peter's Church at Easton, and means many more slow-moving lorries will be joining the A47 roundabout. These lorries will be delivering cement to the site, and these lorries will be taking it away, whilst these lorries will collect and deliver sand and gravel. The core strategy allows lorries to travel short distances along unsuitable roads, so the question we ask is, will lorry drivers go north up to the A47 and then east along the A11 and then south to the likely sites for new houses in Wyndham and Heatherset, or will they cut through Marlingford, Barford, Ramplingham, Barbara to deliver their aggregates, saving themselves both time and a great deal of money? Remember, the proposed quarry has an allocation for 735,000 tonnes, or 36,750 lorry movements in and 36,750 lorry movements out, plus 42 ton lorries delivering cement, ready-mix lorries delivering concrete. This equals potholes, noise, CO2 emissions, accidents. And now for some good news. WAS 71, the proposed waste site, is no longer considered appropriate. The landowners wanted to use this site for inert waste once the sand and gravel had been extracted. However, because of the borehole and water source Zone 1 protection classification, this has been deemed inappropriate. A reasoned view may have considered that if inert waste would damage the water supply, then so would the removal of 735,000 tonnes of sand and gravel. What can we do to get Min 54 removed? If you think it is inappropriate to place an industrial complex in the heart of the countryside that will destroy the habitat of goodness knows how many different animals, birds and insects, that will deny the enjoyment of the countryside for visitors and residents alike, that will bring danger and disruption to this lovely part of South Norfolk, then let the people who make the decisions that affect our lives know what you think. Make a fuss. Before the report goes to the inspector, it has to be passed by Norfolk County Council Cabinet. 30 questions were tabled by residents at the Cabinet meeting on the 4th of April 2011. Cabinet members responsible question planning officers, and Cabinet members had visited the site. So lobby Cabinet members, lobby Council members, lobby your MP, lobby Easton College who control the access to this site, and lobby Planning Committee members. Please leave us your details on our website. Together we can stop this ill-advised proposal.